Hi guys, this is Sadik from Dotwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash any GSI ROM without using fastboot commands. So as you might be aware, generally we first boot our phone to the fastboot mode, then flash the VB file to disable the verification check, then we boot our phone to the fastboot D mode, and then we remove the logical partition and then flash the system IMG file or the GSI file to get the job done. However, as of now, I'll show you how to flash the GSI file without carrying out any of these steps. We will not use any fastboot command whatsoever. So with that said, please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. That's quite obvious. For that, you may refer to a guide and the video and get this job done. And once you have unlocked the bootloader, you will now have to install the Treble Check app and then have a look at the CPU architecture section. So in most Android phone it should be 64-bit ARM. Some older Android phone has a 64 or rather the x86 or the 32-bit architecture, but newer Android phones comes with the 64-bit ARM only. Still, let's verify the same via the Treble Check app and then have a look at the CPU architecture section. Once that is done, you will now have to install the Shizuku app on your phone. So let's do that as well. It may take just a few seconds. You may install the app from Play Store as well. So go there and install the Shizuku app from the Play Store, or you may do so from a third-party site of your choice. Then launch the app and we will now have to set up the app. So if you have a rooted phone, then you will just have to tap on start and from the rooted section and the app will be set up in one go. But as of now, we are not focusing on root because rooting will lead to a few additional issues such as play integrity issues and safety net issue. So we will use the wireless debugging method. In this regard, you will first off have to tap on pairing and then tap on notification option and enable the toggle next to allow notification. Once that is done, go back and now you will have to enable developer option on your phone as well. So go to the settings menu, then go to about phone and tap on build number 7 times. You will get a prompt that developer option has been enabled. So go back, again go back, now go back to the app, tap on developer option and you will be taken there. Now enable the toggle next to wireless debugging, tap on allow in the prompt that appears. Now tap on wireless debugging and then pair device with pairing code. You will get a pairing code and the Shizuku prompt as well. So type in the code 693682 in the pairing code of Shizuku, 693682. This pairing code will vary on depending on each and every user. So you will now get the pairing successful. So let's now get back to the Shizuku app. Now come to its home page and tap on start. And as you could see, it should now start within 3 seconds. And the Shizuku app is now started. So it's asking for an extra step for an developer option. This is only required for some phones. So let's have a look at that as well. What exactly it's asking for us to do. So we will have to disable permission monitoring. This is required for Oppo and OnePlus phone. In case of Xiaomi phones, you will have to enable the USB debugging security options as well. So as far as my OnePlus goes, I will have to turn off permission monitoring as well. So additional settings, developer option and scroll to the end. Let's go back to the end and from here you will see a permission monitoring. Enable the toggle next to it and with this the permission monitoring has been turned off. So let me now have a look at the Shizuku app once again. And as you could see, Shizuku is now running. Moreover, on Xiaomi phones you will have to carry out a few other tweaks as well. So let me show you that as well. Once you have installed the Shizuku app in Xiaomi phones, first off long press the Shizuku app icon and go to its app info page. And under the battery saver, please make sure to select no restriction. Once that is done, apart from that, you will also have to make sure that there are no restriction in the data usage and the network section as well. Likewise, go to the settings menu on your phone, then go to notification and go to notification style and choose Android. This is required for the Xiaomi, Poco and Redmi phones. After that, go to the settings menu, then go to additional settings, developer option. And now you will have to enable the toggle next to USB debugging security settings. So make sure to do that as well. These 4 things are required for Xiaomi phones. In case of OnePlus and Oppo, you will have to enable the permission monitoring toggle from the developer option, and for all the other phones, Samsung and Pixel phone, that is not required. Anyways, with this, we have now enabled the Shizuku app on our phone, and we could now move ahead with the next step. So now you will have to install the app which is known as the DSU SideLoader app. This will be used to flash the GSI ROM onto your phone. So get the APK from GitHub and then let's install the app onto our phone as well. So this is the DSU SideLoader app. Launch the app and you will now get the Shizuku prompt. Tap on allow all the time, and now you will have to download the required GSI file. These are all the custom GSI that you could get a hold of. Let me show you. These are the various GSI file. So download the required GSI file, and once you have got the file, you will then have to make a new folder on your phone, name it as GSI. This is the folder, and then transfer the ROM file inside that folder. So let me do that as well. As of now, I'll be flashing the Leaf OS GSI file. So just let me verify it once, and this is the Leaf OS. So you may use either the zip file, the IMG file, anyone will do. You may simply just copy the ROM file and transfer it inside the GSI folder on your phone. The GSI file might be in a .exit format, in the .zip format, or even in the .img format. Any one of these three formats will work with the DSU SideLoader app. You may also extract the zip file and give it the IMG file to the app as well. That will also work. So you may carry out any one of these three tweaks. So with that said, the ROM is being transferred onto our phone, and it should take just a few more seconds. So let's just wait. In the meantime, please make sure that you are downloading the same ROM file which correspond to the CPU architecture of your phone. So in our case, it was 64-bit ARM. Likewise, you may download both the GApps and the vanilla build of the ROM file. The GApp will be somewhat heavier because it will have all the Google app packages as well, and the vanilla build will be AOSP with no GApps. With that said, we have transferred the GSI ROM inside the GSI folder on our phone. So let's now proceed ahead with the next step. Now tap on setup under DSU SideLoader. Select the GSI folder and tap on use this folder. Tap on allow and then tap on grant. Then tap on proceed. And now tap on select a file to be installed. Choose the Leaf OS file which you have just transferred, or any GSI file. You should be inside the GSI folder and the GSI ROM should be here. So choose the GSI ROM file. Then enable the user data size and let's give it across around 10 GB of size. You will have to give it a size at the very max. You can give it 40% of the total size of your phone storage, but still it's recommended to keep it around 10 to 15 GB at the very max. Once that is done, tap on install, again tap on proceed and tap on allow one-time access, and it's now installing the updates. It will first extract the file and then process the system partition of your phone and then install the updates, which could take up to a few seconds. As you could see, installation in progress. It's installing in the system partition of our phone, and the GSI ROM flashing usually takes around up to 20 to 30 seconds at the very max. If everything is working well and good, then it should not take much longer than that. And as you could see, image has been installed successfully. So have a look at the notification, and let me see. As you could see, it's ready. Tap on it, notification, tap on it, or expand the notification and tap on restart, and your phone will now restart with the newly flashed GSI file. So there are quite a few advantages of using the DSU SideLoader app. Apart from the obvious fact that you don't have to use the fastboot command, there are a few other benefits as well. But before that, let me discuss something very important. So in some cases, when you are flashing a GSI ROM, it might ask you to execute a ADB shell command as well. So let me show you. So you might have to use this command as well. This does not happen all the times, but it might ask you. So in that case, this command you will have to simply copy it and then paste it in the CMD window. So for that, download and extract the platform tools on your PC. Then open a CMD window in the platform tools, or you may simply type in CMD from the start menu. Then copy the path of platform tools and type in cd change directory and paste the platform tools path, and now enable USB debugging on your phone and simply copy this command, adb shell command, and paste it here and hit enter, and then the app will be given the required permission. This is not required always, but when it will be required, it will be asked from you. The app will ask you to simply type in this command and the task stands complete. It asks sometime, but sometime it may not ask. So you may use this command to get the job done, and as soon as you use this command, the flashing of the GSI will now start and will take only a few seconds. And once that is done, just tap on restart and you will be now inside the GSI ROM, as you could see. So let me set up the GSI ROM. As of now, I am setting it up offline. Let me skip the initial setup process. If you want, you may go to online and restore all the data, and I'm skipping everything right now. Let me skip this as well. And with this, we are now inside the GSI ROM. So it has a few pre-installed app as well. So before moving ahead, let me discuss a few important things and a few benefits of the DSU SideLoader app. The biggest advantage is the fact that you don't have to use fastboot command to flash the GSI ROM. Apart from that, the data partition of the GSI ROM and the original OS are separate. They are not interlinked with each other. So whatever task you carry out in the GSI ROM will not be shown in the original storage section. Likewise, whatever task and data are there in the original OS will not be shown here in the GSI section. For example, if I take a screenshot, I have taken a screenshot, and if I go to the gallery, as you could see, I only have a single screenshot and there are no other files whatsoever. Whereas in the original OS, I have quite a lot of files. Likewise, all the apps that you installed here will only be installed in this section and they will not be there in the original OS. And whatever apps are there in the original OS will not be shown here in this section. Moreover, our data partition as of now will be around 10 GB only, because we have given it the 10 GB size while flashing the GSI ROM. You may verify it as well from the file menu or go to the phone section from here. And let's now verify it. So first off, let's change it to file transfer. And as of now, the file storage, as you could see, it's only 10 GB because we have given it the 10 GB. But as soon as you restart your phone and you will be back to the original OS, the size will again change back to the original storage, which is 128 or 256 GB or 512 GB, depending on the original phone size. So in short, the data partition of the GSI ROM has nothing to do with the original OS. Both of them are completely separate in size and section as well. So, and the best part is that you could easily go back to the stock OS by just doing a simple restart. So just expand the DSU notification, tap on restart, and you will now be inside the stock OS. Let me show you that as well. It should take a few seconds and then we'll be booted back to the stock original OS, and there will be no hints of any GSI whatsoever. So this is the easiest way of flashing the GSI ROM. As and when you required, you could simply go back and forth with the GSI ROM and the stock OS. There is no need to flash the GSI ROM, no need to flash the original stock OS, anything as such. And we are now inside the stock OS, as you could see. And first and foremost, let me show you the storage size as well. So for that, let me change it to transferring files. It's already done that. And now, as you could see, we now have the original size as well. So my phone size was 128 GB storage, out of which we have already given around 15 to 20 GB size to the GSI ROM, and the remaining size is shown here, as you could see. So it will only show the size of the OS. The rest of the storage size has been taken by the GSI ROM. So until and unless you remove the GSI, it will show the size of the storage OS. With that said, you could see that we have all the files here which are not there. Likewise, I have taken a screenshot as well. So if I go to the Google Photos section, you could see it's completely empty and it has nothing to show here because the data partition are completely separate. And likewise, if I take a screenshot here, this screenshot will not be shown in the GSI ROM. I'll show you that as well. So let's take a couple of screenshots here. Moreover, you could again simply go back to the GSI ROM just by tapping on the restart. So tap on restart and then you will be again taken back to the GSI ROM in just a single tap, and you may easily go back and forth between the GSI and the stock OS in just a few taps. So just let's wait and for a phone to boot to the GSI, and then I'll show you the screenshot will not be there on the GSI ROM. Just to confirm, I'll show you once again. And in this similar manner, you may flash any GSI ROM of your choice. The app supports all the ROMs. And if I go to the Files app, or rather the Gallery app, you could see I only have this screenshot and those two screenshots are missing from there. So guys, this was all from this guide. Let me now show you how to remove or uninstall this. So for that, you will first and foremost have to restart your phone back to the stock OS. So guys, now if we talk about removing and uninstalling the GSI ROM, in that case, simply removing the entire GSI folder. For example, where we had the GSI ROM, so delete the folder, and even if you uninstall both the apps, which was the DSU SideLoader app, likewise the Shizuku app, so even after carrying out all this task, I noticed that I did not got my storage back. So your only course of action is to do a format data, and only after doing a format data you will get the entire storage back. Otherwise, that 10 to 20 GB which you had given to GSI ROM will stay there only. So let me show you. As of now, I still have the 98 GB only, whereas I should have got back the 128 GB because I don't have the GSI ROM on my phone, but still I am not getting that size. So your only way out is going to the settings menu and doing a format data from there. But do note that doing a format data will wipe off all the data from your phone. So make sure you have taken a complete device backup beforehand. Once you have taken a backup, you may then simply do a format data and then your task stands complete. There is no other way out to gain back those storage size, and as soon as you remove the data as well as do a format data, then you will get back the original OS storage size, and that's just about it. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.